Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. I am your host, Asaph Adonai, and boy, I just feel so blessed every time I get to sit here and do another segment of this show. It's just such a gift.
Fascinating.
And we'll be, as I mentioned, maybe doing a cafe in my home next week.
Yeah, Lord willing, yep.
Exciting.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun to do it in my home.
Yes.
And Emmett, why don't you start us off first?
Heavenly Father, bless our food and our fascinating time together in Jesus' name. Oh God, in Jesus' name.
Amen. And acknowledgments on my left, we have the lovely Teresa Toigo. And I love her hair.
Oh, thank you.
And it just looks so great on camera, especially with Lady Liberty there off to the side there.
American woman.
Yeah, and affectionately our aging Rocker Emmett. And I'm going to put this on. This is Yehudi Menuhin. He was a famous concert violinist. I don't know if it'll pick up on the thing, but here we go. You recognize that song, right?
Yep.
Flight of the Bumble Bee?
Yeah, Neil Diamond covered that. And
Yeah.
he wrote some of his own lyrics to it, you know.
Uh-huh. Pretty cool.
Mhm.
We'll open a cafe with Flight of the Bumble Bee.
Mhm.
That's amazing anybody can play like
That's
that.
amazing. I thought it was only Neil Diamond that wrote that. I didn't know it had existed before that. He
Oh,
must have
yes.
just picked up on this, you know.
Oh,
written
yeah,
his own
we'll
lyrics
talk
to
about
it.
that in a moment.
Fascinating. I've been stung by bumblebees. They hurt.
Well,
Oh.
anyway, for those who may not know, that is called The Flight of the Bumblebee is the name of that song. And it was written by Rimsky-Korsakov around 18-something,
Oh.
something like that. And it's just such a fun song. It's not a song that you could dance to, obviously. It's not exactly a romantic song. It's just one of those intricate...
If I danced
You know.
fast enough by myself, I could dance to it.
Well, anyway, it's just a fun song when you hear it. And this violinist, his name was Menuhin. So he was a Jewish concert violinist. And his pianist, his name was Adolf Bahler. He was also, I believe, of Jewish descent. And the Nazis, during World War II, they crushed the hands of the pianist on this video to
Oh.
prevent him from playing the piano. So Menuhin, the violinist, nursed him back to health. And Menuhin had this like estate, like a mansion estate. So he moves Bahler in, the pianist, and Bahler's wife. And so they end up just living together in this mansion. And they teamed up, Bahler and Menuhin, and they did some beautiful music, even though they were playing Flight of the Bumblebee in this particular clip. Just amazing.
The fingers are just...
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels, I don't know if he can go that fast, but...
I don't know. This is a special kind of violin playing, you know. But this is from a film called Stage Door Canteen, 1943 film. And it's just fun watching Menuhin play the Bumblebee there. And you know what's fun about this thing is I can just put anything on here. You know, like if it's available like on YouTube or something like that, you can put this on, you can actually watch it. Now you were talking about Gordon Lightfoot. Let's see if we can get some Gordon Lightfoot on here.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Give me
I
a
don't know
minute.
if it would accept it because of the copyright. I don't know if since it's MCAT, if the copyright, if we could even play it because of the copyright issues, you know.
Well, it's no different than when I'm playing the songs on the piano. We're not promoting anything.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think there's going to be any problem there.
Because if I were to play Gordon Lightfoot, I'd have to get permission from the people who made it. You know, that's kind of like I did in my easy listening show. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing the whole song too.
Okay.
I'm just doing a clip here.
Oh, okay,
Fine.
excellent.
Well, here's his Sundown song. How about that?
I don't
one?
like the Sundown song.
All right, what about If You Could?
Don't like that one either. Oh wait, if you could read my mind.
Well, it doesn't say. I assume that's it. Let me find another one. There's not much to work with here. Here's the wreck of...
Edmund didn't like that one. And never liked that one.
Okay, hold on. I don't think there's going to be much to choose from on here then.
Huh.
What do you like?
Rainy Day People. I love If You Could Read My Mind.
Yeah, I thought I just had that one.
Okay, well
Just
maybe
a while.
if that could, maybe that's it. If you could read my mind.
If you
Whoa,
could
hold
read my
on.
mind, girl, what a tale my thought could tell.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What a tale my thoughts could tell.
Is that it?
No, that's not it. Do you have Rainy Day People, or do you have?
I don't know. It just depends on what the computer has. Rainy Day People? Is that the name of the song?
Yes.
Let's see if it's here. Rainy Day People. Alright, here's a version of it. I don't know if this is... Isn't that something? There's no getting around commercials here.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is it or not.
That's it.
Well, it's probably... I don't know if it's going to pick up on...
It's so beautiful.
Sing it.
Oh, listen to know when it's time to call. I'm getting goosebumps. People don't talk, they just listen till they heard it all.
Let me see if I can get closer there.
Rainy day lovers don't lie when they tell you I don't like you. Rainy day people don't mind if you cry on a tear or two. Oh. If you get lonely, all you really need is that rainy day love. Rainy day people all know there's no sorrow they can't rise above. Rainy day lovers don't know any others that would not be kind. Rainy day people all know how it hangs on a peace of mind.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you like that song.
You're very passionate about
That is my favorite song of Neil Diamond.
Well, it has the words on here, too, this particular version.
it's got a nice uplifting.
It's
Yeah.
so
I don't know how that'll pick up on the sound. We'll find out.
It
when,
is such a beautiful song. I don't even change the words on that one about washers and dryers. I just sing it's such a beautiful song.
Uh-huh. So is that your favorite Gordon Lightfoot song?
That's the one. That's my favorite. I mean, I have so many that I love. Just. Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
How did you get familiar with Gordon Lightfoot?
It's hard to say. He used to be played on Easy 102,
Okay.
and they played Rainy Day Song a lot. But then and some others, if you could read my mind.
Uh-huh.
And I saw Gordon Lightfoot, I guess, in a record store secondhand, and I recognized some of the songs, and I thought, I'll try this. I didn't know Best of Gordon Lightfoot, and I put it on, I loved it. Then I got other records, and I just fell in love with Gordon Lightfoot, There's so many of his other songs that I should know on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, Rainbow Trout I love. There's a Rainbow Trout.
Okay.
And then there's another one, I can't even remember. All the Lovely Ladies.
Okay.
Some others, they're just incredible. I'm trying to. Restless is a beautiful one. Let's see.
Is he your favorite singer?
He's got to be one of them because I play him every day.
Okay.
I got to, Cotton Jenny. Let's see. Cotton Jenny is another one I love.
Uh-huh.
Gravy, if I could remember. Oh, I can't even remember the name of the song. Yeah, it's. Oh, I can't even remember the name of the song. I'd have to get up my albums and put them right with me. Oh boy. Raining in the sun. Bitter green. Bitter green, they call her, walking through the sun, loving everyone.
But the one that you sang earlier, is that your favorite song of
That's
his?
gotta be, yeah, Rainy Day People.
Rainy Day People, cool. So Teresa, how have you been?
Well, I had a little cold, but I'm fine now.
Oh,
Thanks
good.
for asking.
Well, yeah, I always want to check on my guest,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know you're
Oh
doing
yes,
okay
I'm doing
now.
quite well, yep.
Good. I'm gonna try this
And
drink
how are
here.
you?
Oh, I'm fine.
It
What
looks
is
like
this
an
called?
alien drink from Star Trek.
It's
You remember? Oh, speaking of alien drink, did you see the episode of Star Trek, the Carbonite Maneuver?
Yes, I did.
Well, they see basically what this was about. There was this little alien. He was like a little person. That's what they call him these days, little person. He was a little person, and he owned this. He had this big ship, but he was in the ship all by himself, so he was bored and lonely, right? So when he sees the Enterprise flying through space, he decides to toy with them and have fun
Yes.
with them. So what he does is he has this alter ego, Balak, and it's like this egghead creature, looks really sinister. So he puts Balak in the commander's chair, so when the Enterprise sees Balak, they think he's the captain of the ship, and it's really this lonely alien toying with them. And he's like, "You have violated our space,
Yeah.
and we found you to be hostile."
Yeah,
They
I
had
remember that.
voice. And if you have any deities, you can pray to those deities before we destroy your
Yep.
ship.
Yep.
And so Kirk was getting ticked off at this thing because
Yep.
it was like this huge ship, like just way bigger than Enterprise, you know. And
Yeah,
so
that was great. Yeah.
the alien was just toying with him, and then at the end, when they make friends, they had this space drink, and I brought that up because you were talking about
Yeah.
this being a space drink. They had it looked like orange juice. They call
Yeah.
it Tranya.
Yes.
And the little alien says, I know, 1,000 questions,
Yeah.
but first the Tranya. And Kurt was thinking it was poison.
Yeah.
So he goes like this, right? He's like,
Yeah.
waiting for that guy to take a sip, and he goes, and then the alien goes, gentlemen, and he wolfs it down like that, and then everybody starts drinking it, and then he goes, I know, 1,000 questions, but first let me give you a tour of my ship.
Yep.
It was just this cute little episode, but
Yeah.
boy, when he was toying with that ship, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He made them lose power and
Yeah.
was zapping out their power on the ship and just doing all this crazy stuff, just messing with them, just to see if how they would react.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the alien was bored.
Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah.
He was just bored, so he just want to have fun with them.
Mhm.
And they had some pretty cool music too.
Oh
Something like
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, the space battle type music they always have. Yeah, dun dun dun. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
You know,
Yeah, I just love
something
that.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But that was a fun episode. And they had this guy on there named Bailey. He was like just got promoted, right?
Yes.
So he wasn't like ready to be an officer because he panicked because he thought he was gonna die. So,
Yeah.
so he starts like freaking out on the bridge, like,
Yeah.
what do all these orders mean?
Yeah.
We're about to die.
Yeah.
Kurt confines him to his quarters until he straightens out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just got to see this episode.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's called the
Delightful.
Corbinite maneuver.
Corbinite maneuver.
Yeah.
And it was just such a fun episode watching this alien for like 50 minutes mess with people.
Yep.
He didn't kill anyone. He just was messing with them, you know, just to see how they'd react. And then when Kirk and everybody goes on his ship, they see the alter ego, and he was just really like a puppet, like. But they didn't know that though, because the mouth was moving, and they had that,
Yeah.
you're invading our space,
Yeah.
and we find you hostile,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. And then the alien, he was a little person, and he was just harmless.
Mhm.
And he says, you guys wouldn't have been afraid of me, so I used my alter ego.
Yeah. Huh.
And he was like, it's been a pleasure testing you.
Yeah.
After he just makes the ship almost lose total power
Yeah.
and everything.
Captain Kirk had a lot of patience. I wouldn't have myself, but
Yeah.
then again, I've never been through Starfleet. That's why you go through Starfleet training, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, and they had lasers, if I remember, and that kind. It's been years since I've seen this, as a matter of fact. And speaking of Star Trek, I've got to make the announcement again. Next year, CBS is planning an all-new series of episodes based on the old Star Trek. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
going to bring back Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy and Mr.
They
Spock,
might,
but
I
it's
don't
they
know.
might, or maybe in a younger, but with more special effects, just new episodes of Star Trek, like the old series from the '60s. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
we should have a premiere party.
Yeah, I mean, I've
I
seen the
can't
clips.
wait either, seeing, you know.
I've seen the clips on YouTube that Asaph showed me, and it looks great. It looks like they're really getting it back to the old-fashioned rock'em sock'em, space war action, in outer space like in the 1960s. Doesn't look like the politically correct stuff. It looks great,
It did.
Do you have some lyrics for this?
No, I don't. No, there were no lyrics for the Star Wars.
That's the
You would
theme
have
to Star
some.
Trek.
I didn't. I really never have.
I thought they already had a theme to Star Trek: The Words.
Not that I knew of. I don't know.
Well, this new series, CBS announced it. By 2017, they're going to have a new Star Trek series, and I assume it'll be Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
But younger actors, obviously, but they said there'll be more villains, more planets, more... So I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Too.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm just kind of curious who's going to play Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Probably be some unknown actor.
Yeah, definitely.
Come out of Broadway or something. It'll be a hit.
Yeah.
And so that's usually how it works.
I almost wonder if even would be based on the new Star Trek movies they did, Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness.
No,
Maybe the cast, from the movies.
I think it'll be probably more like the television series.
Yeah. But, you saw the new Star Trek movies that they had based on William Shatner, Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. You saw those.
Yeah.
Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, I've got those movies.
And I wonder if they're going to have that cast on there and that kind of thing.
That seems very unlikely. I'd be really surprised if they did. I don't know, but it just seems so unlikely.
Those were great movies, too. I loved them.
Oh, yeah. That first one, huh?
Do they have a heroine on the show?
We'll have to see.
We'll
I don't
have to
know.
wait and see.
Did they have one on the last one?
They had a few, kind of, not really. Nurse Chapel kind of was some, and
Uhura, but they
Uhura.
were really crew members, so
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Well,
I thought Uhura was a crew
without
member.
getting political, I
Well,
believe
they-
this is the time for women, and maybe
Well, yeah,
maybe
I
they will
realize
have
that, but
some-
if they're going to keep in keeping with Star Trek too,
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait till 2017 see what they're going to do.
Yeah, they want to keep this under wraps so we can use our imaginations. I hope it lives up to our expectations, because we science fiction fans and Star Trek fans build things up in our minds, and then sometimes we feel let down,
this is a great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember when Star Trek: The Next Generation came out, and I saw the previews were like, oh, fascinating! But then I felt so let down when I first started seeing it. It wasn't my expectations,
You know this song, right?
Yes, it's Wonderful World, yep. What a Wonderful World, yep. By Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played this on Easy 102 a lot, and I liked that. Now it's on the Toddler Tunes Slumber Set sometimes. It's wonderful,
Yeah. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Boy.
And the conclusion. Beautiful song.
Yep,
Almost makes me cry.
I know.
What a beautiful world.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I was hoping Louis Armstrong would have did a trumpet solo on there, but he didn't. So, oh well. But it's still a beautiful song.
Mhm.
You know what I liked about Louis Armstrong? You're familiar with jazz, right?
Yeah, smooth jazz at least. Not regular jazz, but smooth jazz.
I'm gonna give you an idea of what regular jazz is, and you
Mhm.
can see why people are not necessarily a fan of it. Just a moment. This would be funny here to do the cafe doing this here. I'm gonna give you an idea here.
Idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now this is what's called bebop jazz.
Yeah.
What that is, it's just lightning stuff. You can't really dance to it. Let's see if this shoots up here.
What's the one where they scat? What do you call that?
This is scatting. That's all.
I like that.
Now, I don't know if this It's just so fast, just repetitive. It's like, what they do is they play the melody first in bebop jazz. Here we go. Let's hear this first. This is a trumpeter named John Faddis.
Oh, it's not smooth jazz. It's not music.
No. He's known for screaming to high heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
That's far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if everybody can hear that.
He hits notes that only dogs can hear.
I know.
Well, let me tell you about this music. Okay, his name is John Faddis. He's known for screaming way up to high heaven. And you can't really dance to that. It's just something you just sit there and listen to. And then at the beginning of this, they have another guy playing, and he just does a bunch of lightning notes. I'll show you. I won't do the whole thing. This is Arturo Sandoval. And that's called bebop jazz.
Yeah. Oh.
So after about a half hour of that, your ears just about had it.
Absolutely.
But see, when bebop jazz first burst on the scene, first they had what was called big band music. It was like really pleasant melodic music, like Glenn Miller, and all of that. And then they started some of the jazz musicians didn't want to do that big band because they thought it was too square. So that's the history. It's jazz history. So so they came up with this bebop stuff where they play the melody, and then when they play the melody a second time, they're just improvising a bunch of notes with the chords in the background so you recognize the song. And everybody does a solo. If you got two trumpet players in there, they each take a turn. This is the funniest art form. And then they got a trombone player who's like, and he's like doing a bunch of notes. And then there's a bass player like,
That would drive me crazy. I think this is the first time I've heard this stuff.
It just drives you nuts after about the second or third song.
Yeah,
you're like, oh man, give my ears a break.
Yeah.
You imagine hearing sitting in a whole hour listening to that kind of music.
Man.
With his trumpet player screaming way up to high heaven, boy, you'd just be like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's funny to watch this stuff, but no, you can't slow dance to it or
fast dance.
You can't even fast dance to this stuff either. It's just it's just a bunch of notes.
Yeah. Doesn't have even any melody to it.
No, it's not supposed to. You're just making it up. You just cut loose. But after listening to that for about a half hour, you think you're like on heroin or something.
I know.
I'm not endorsing that, but
exactly.
Now here's Dizzy Gillespie with a little mute. That's a little bit more pleasant. But it's still the same thing. Bunch of lightning notes. And that drummer just that same rhythm for like 10 minutes.
Oh.
That's jazz. It's just song after song. It's just like that. And so, it can wear thin on your nerves after a while.
Yeah. Smooth jazz I enjoy. At least some of it. That's more like music. Kind of like have you ever been on hold on a, like a company.
On an elevator,
yeah, that's what it's like, you know.
Yeah, just that easy listening kind of, and that's what I prefer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not trying to pick on
right
the artists who play bebop jazz. If that's their thing, fine, God bless you. But yeah, I can only handle that for like so much, and then I'm done. That's it.
I like that slow stuff like Billie Holiday and that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Don't know Billie Holiday.
Yeah, you do. God Bless the Child. I don't know if it'll show up on this thing here. Let's see. Just a moment.
Who was it again? That was?
Billie Holiday, the singer.
A woman?
You'll recognize her. She had a really distinctive sound to her voice. Let's see if it'll do it. I don't know if this will do it. It depends on the, what do you call the internet here. See, this may not let me do it here.
Wonder if there's a storm brewing outside if it's interfering.
Well, sometimes, yeah, when the weather is kind of bad, sometimes that does.
Because the lights flickered on and off just for a split second, if I noticed, you know.
Yeah, I know. Let's give it that jazz. Let me try this again. Which is fun, just letting this do the work instead of me playing the piano for a change on the cafe.
If
Okay,
they
let's
can
try
hear
this.
it. We don't know if they can hear it.
I don't know. But she had a distinctive sound to her voice, Billie Holiday. This is a song called Little Darling, I believe. All of me. You recognize her now?
Yes, I do. That was
Billie Holiday. That was Billie Holiday.
I did not know that because I was playing this. I was playing a rerun on my show. It was the easy listening of KOZ FM Lewiston. There's a song I loved.
They were playing some of her music.
They may have been because that was the same singer.
Yeah, that Billie Holiday.
Yep.
She's considered the greatest jazz singer that ever lived. But she did like slow stuff like this, but she did some jazzy stuff, but it wasn't like that bebop, that kind of stuff. But anyway, she was.
Dance to that.
Yeah, oh, of course you can. So, you know, as I stated, I'm not picking on bebop jazz. It's just, man, that works your ears.
It does.
It just, oh my goodness. It really does. I'm not really a big fan of that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
I like the easy listening. I like the
Exactly.
soft. That's why it was fun listening to Miles Davis. You know, he was just easy listening to.
Yeah. She made a song. I'm gonna get to you, and baby, when I do, you'll talk sweet talk to me. Sounds like her voice. Ooh, I played that yesterday for you people who are watching my show. That's probably her. I don't know, but that was a wonderful song. Whoever, you guess that was the artist, and they played
that was
that
probably
year.
Billie Holiday.
Yeah,
she did like a bunch of songs. She left the world some great music.
Yeah, definitely.
Billie Holiday.
I think I need to put my sweater on. It's getting a little chilly in here. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. I need to put my sweater on my cafe. My Dropkick Murphys one. It's getting a little chilly. But
That's okay. Make yourself at home.
It's.
I'm just having fun instead of playing the piano. Just letting this little laptop, this little smartphone do the music. I don't know how much it'll pick up on that, but yeah, that was an interesting period of history.
Yeah.
You need to sit a little closer.
They had a lot of singers that did beautiful music. Sarah Vaughan. This goes before your time, obviously.
Before our time, too.
Yeah, I know, I realize that, but more before Emmett's time. But yeah, that was Billie Holiday, and they called her Lady Day. That was her nickname.
And they have a movie on.
With
on
Diana
demand.
Ross. Yeah, it was the Lady Sings the Blues, I think was the name of the movie.
Yes, that one, and they have a new one out too.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in it.
About Billie Holiday? The new
Yeah.
one? Oh yeah, I think I heard
Or a
about that.
documentary. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's way cool. But anyway, you know, when you listen to that Flight of the Bumble Bee, that's pleasant to the ear in comparison.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, this is gonna sound. I don't want to sound insensitive. It's just, I guess jazz is an acquired taste.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
you know, if you want to sit there for a whole hour and go deaf listening to the.
It's kind of like if well, this is what I think. Like if you listen to it for a long time, it starts to sound kind of the same. It all
Well, it
blurs
basically is the same. It's
Yeah.
like when you do like here's the girl from Ipanema, for example. Here's the melody. See.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to that again, it might do something like this. You know, they'll start doing
Oh,
stuff
I
like
didn't
that.
mean that, and
They
that's-
use the chords, the same chords, but they're not playing the melody.
No,
you
I
know?
meant that fast.
That's what I'm
trumpet
talking about. That bebop,
stuff.
fast
Yeah.
stuff. Even when they do their slow songs, they're shoving a bunch of notes in there. And it. Well, I'm not gonna get a medal for endorsing jazz. I could see that.
Yeah. Like I said, I love smooth jazz, you know, office music jazz, but
Well,
you know.
I love all music, but
I do too. I mean,
there's
I
just
can
some
listen
that I
to it,
like
but it
more
just
than
after a
others.
while.
Yeah.
Here's a group here, a jazz group here. What was the name of it? Hold on a second.
You're loving that phone, aren't you?
Yeah. There's a song called Lil L-I-L, Lil Darlin', without the letter G. That's an easy listening song. And let's see if I can. Now, this was on The Tonight Show, this version here. I don't know how much it'll show up on. But it's easy listening. See, this is very soft. And that's the intro there. See how nice it is?
Can you play it? Because I bet they can
Yeah, I
hear
can do that. That's called Lil Darlin'. I'll do it up here. It probably won't show up on here, but it's an easy listening song. Here, hold on a second. I'll demonstrate it. Now that song goes something like this. It goes something like this. Recognize that's a melody, see?
Nope.
That's just a basic little melody, Lil Darlin'.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And so when the guys do the solos, even though they're shoving a bunch of notes in there, at least it's a little bit more pleasant, that lightning than that lightning stuff. So, you know, this reminds me, just think if you were stuck in a room and you had to listen to that. That screaming trumpet player for like a whole half hour, just non-stop. You'll be like, oh, I can fly.
I know.
I bet there's some people that really can do that and enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. Well, you know, but it takes a lot of practice to be able to play that kind of jazz, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's an art form like any other art form. It's like opera. Some people just like cringe when they hear
The
opera.
same. I'm one of the type of people that cringe
Yeah.
when they hear opera.
Let's have fun with opera here for a second.
Oh,
here.
please.
Let's see, wait a minute. You might like this one here, what I have in mind. Just give me a moment here. A song, Veste La Juba. Here we go. Let's see, I don't know. This is Mario Alonso. He was a famous opera singer. He plays the clown.
I think it's beautiful. Well, I'm Italian, so.
Oh.
Let's see if I can find a louder version of that. Hold on. Well, when I was at the conservatory, I had a friend of mine that used to practice that song.
Oh.
But see, it's like jazz, opera. It's just an acquired taste, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the speakers are going to be loud enough to do this.
I don't think so.
That's not going to work. This is probably the best one here.
Oh. And I don't even understand it. Why is he singing as a clown? What does the clown represent?
I don't know how to explain that.
They're all stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
what it's about.
Oh. Sounds like something from The Godfather.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it sounds like The Godfather music, and a clown is singing. You guys must be in my dream. I must be dreaming about this on the cafe. Very strange dream. I'll write it down in my dream diary. But who's having the dream? You or me?
Well, actually, this is a song called Vesti la Juba. It's a beautiful song about the sad singing clown. And when I was at the conservatory, I had a friend of mine that used to practice that particular aria. And it was cool watching, but it's like you said, you know, not everybody's going to be sitting around listening to opera.
But what's the story about? Is it about a sad clown who broke up with a girlfriend over a fight?
I'm not familiar with the storyline of this song, but I can tell you about Madame Butterfly. Madame Butterfly is this Japanese geisha girl,
Mm-hmm.
and she falls in love with Colonel Pinkerton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a serviceman, and they had this relationship, and then when he goes back to the States, Madame Butterfly thinks she's never going to see him again. And of course, she commits Harry Carrick. She offs herself, and just when she kills herself, that's when Pinkerton comes back.
A tragedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an opera? Is that
That's
an
an
opera?
opera.
That's a tragedy.
And I'm not making light of that by laughing, but it's just that opera has those sad
Themes, yes.
Yeah, very
stories,
dramatic.
you know, that just. She just should have just stuck around. She would have stuck around like 2 or 3 more minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
She would have seen her love.
Yeah, Shakespearean type tragedy, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of opera. But if I had to choose between listening to bebop, jazz, and opera, I think I'd pick opera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's
I
a
would,
tie to me. It's a tie for me.
I think I would pick listening to opera there. And of course, Maria Callas is probably the greatest opera singer for a female that ever lived. I don't know if you ever heard of her or not.
No.
She just did everything in the opera world. Well, I don't want to bore you with opera anymore, but I know that's not your thing.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
And jazz is not your thing. It's not really my
No,
thing either,
smooth
but-
jazz I love, but
Yeah.
regular bebop jazz or something else. Smooth jazz, office jazz, that sounds like an office
Yeah,
musician,
uh-huh.
like something you'd see on hold. Please continue to hold. Your call is very important to us, but to quickly get back to our automated system, please press 1 now. The estimated time to speak to a representative is 5 minutes, and then get back to the smooth jazz. Your call is very important to us. Please continue to hold, but to quickly get balances and such, please return to our automated menu now. And then, as a matter of fact, they didn't have smooth jazz, but when I was on hold, they asked me, anything else you need? And I said, who was the artist that was doing that beautiful music? That was wonderful music. And she didn't know, but now I get to have office music on hold office music 24/7. By the way, speaking of smooth jazz, I think it's smooth jazz, or it's been on the smooth jazz channel. Ever hear of an artist named Chet Atkins?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I like him. I like Chet Atkins a lot, yeah.
Yeah, he was a great performer.
He was? I didn't
he
know
was.
You mean he's no longer alive? Or
No, Chet Atkins, we lost him years ago.
I did not know that, yeah. Chet Atkins. Yeah, he did a song called Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues.
Yeah, Joe Sullivan sang that song on my Lawrence Welk show, Good Time Charlie Has the Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chet Atkins was.
Oh, I didn't know there was a
famous
sung version.
guitarist. Yeah, there's.
Oh,
a
I did not
sung
know
version.
that, huh?
And he could play guitar, but what was good about Chet Atkins is he would feature younger performers, you know, because he was like really famous, has TV shows and stuff. He was getting all those country folks in there singing and sharing it, and it was just pretty cool.
I always
Pretty cool.
imagined, I didn't know it was because I only heard the instrumental. I thought that.
You talking about the Charlie song?
Yeah, Charlie. I thought Charlie was like in charge of a laundromat, and I wondered, why does he have the blues? Because some of his washing machines are broken, and they're not going to be fixed in time, and
Well,
some of the
let's
dry.
make sure we got the right song. I think we're talking about the right song.
Yeah.
That would be very sad for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Good time, Charlie's got the blues.
Yeah, that's the name of the song. Good Time Charlie Has the Blues. Hold on, I've got it here on this clip here. Let's make sure it's the right song. I think it is the right song. Give me a moment here. And let's see if we can get this here. Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. I didn't know you knew that song, Emmett.
Yeah, it's been on the Smooth Jazz channel, even easy listening. Yeah, that's how I found out about it. Yeah.
This is Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. This is Joe Sullivan singing.
This is it.
Asa,
This is it.
if I have to strain to hear that, they're not going to hear it out there.
Well, that's okay. We're just having fun anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty song.
It is.
We've got to fix the washers in this laundromat. Good time, Charlie's got the blues.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, that was done on my Lawrence Welk show, that particular
Interesting,
performance.
yeah.
Good Time Charlie Has the Blues.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm brain dead at the moment. What can we talk about here? We're just goofing
Remember-
The
on.
washing machine?
I wanted to talk about. No, we have had some hard times as children, but
Oh,
what
yeah.
about the magic of children, the joy that they bring us?
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
when you
Yeah,
see
chil-
children in a playground,
Uh-huh.
they're always happy. They never have the blues.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah, I've babysat many children. They give so much love, and they just, they're so intelligent. If you just talk to a child or whatever, they can bring up subjects, they can ask you questions, and they're inquisitive, and they're just very sharp as a tack. Just wonderful, yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of babysitting.
and he was a nanny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I used to work as a nanny.
Yeah.
I used to take care of children. But
Do you have a special happy memory you can
being
share?
a nanny? Oh, I suppose, yeah. I think, what I like about children is their innocence.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a famous TV show called Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Oh, yeah.
You ever heard of that show?
Yes.
With Art
Yes.
Linkletter?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he would like interview these like 6-year-old kids and
Yeah.
7-year-old kids, and
I
it was
love
just
that
funny what these
show.
kids would say.
I've
They
never
would
seen
just-
that. It was, I never saw it.
Well, they had a topic about where do babies come from, so and so they had this little girl. She was probably about 6, and she goes, and Art Linkletter says, "What would you do if you're going to have a baby?" And the little girl's like, "I tell the doctor to cut that baby out of me and get that thing away from me." Cut it. Just their innocence. And it was just so funny, just watching that. But children, they're just so innocent.
Yeah, they are.
They're just oblivious to the world and to life, and they have their perceptions of what they believe, even if it's way off.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun about children, their innocence.
Yeah.
What I like about being around children is they see things for the first time and things that you might take for granted
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
you get older. And so you're around them and you remember how beautiful a cloud can look like a dragon or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ave Maria.
Mhm.
Beautiful song. there, but getting back to kids, they just say the funniest things.
Yeah.
It's just so funny what children will say and what they'll do. If you got a long hair sticking out of your nose, little kid's gonna say, "Mommy, that guy's got a long hair out of his nose." Because they don't have tact yet. They haven't learned that.
Right.
So kids are just pretty blunt.
And they're just curious. They
Yeah,
don't mean
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, so make sure you clip your nose hairs if you're going to be around kids.
Yeah.
Because they're very observant.
Like, my mom was in a wheelchair,
Uh-huh.
and she didn't mind when how did you get, why are you in that chair? And her friend was in a chair too, and she would kid around. She's like, well, I was in the war, and just playing.
Yeah, I know, just messing with kids, I get it.
But my mom would, she would explain, and she didn't mind. Kids are just curious.
Ironically, when I first moved to Missoula, it was in 1984, it was an 8-year-old friend of mine. I was sort of babysitting, just palling around, and he introduced me to Prince. See, there was a Prince tape on the side of the street, and he put in his, and it was kind of old, and he put it in his tape recorder, and it was a kind of worn-out tape. It was Prince's 1999. Do you remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to dance and tell it like party like it's 1999. And he was just jiggling the tape recorder around and laughing. Look at the way it sounds. It sounded so distorted. That was funny. That was my first introduction to Prince.
Really?
I'd never heard of Prince before.
And you started with the little red Corvette, huh?
No, I didn't know Little Red Corvette.
Or the other song you were talking about just now, well, those are all Prince songs.
Yeah, well, I never heard of Little Red Corvette, but the only Prince song I really heard was a 1999.
Yeah, it goes something
And
like
he
this.
replayed that and replayed that and replayed that and rewound that to that one song over and over. He was a very hyperactive kid. He was very hyperactive. Every day he would just ring around and shake the tape recorder. That was funny. I got a kick out of that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I got a kick out of
got
that.
it.
Well, if I practiced, I'd probably figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
So I guess that's an interesting way to get exposed to Prince, huh?
It was, yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, getting back to children, they're just delightful
Yeah, they are.
creatures, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the right word. People.
They are, yeah.
Beings, humans, beings.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I'm talking about the little kids, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds,
Yeah.
and so on. They're just fun.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your happy memory?
Oh, let's see. I would say probably watching these kids when they're watching a movie at home with their family or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really stimulating or exciting, just...
No, I mean when you were a kid, do you have
Oh,
happy
when I
memory?
was a kid? Let's see if I can think of a happy memory. I guess one memory I wrote about in my autobiography, when Santa Claus came to our home.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun memory.
Yeah.
We lived in Taiwan at the time. I was in the
Uh-huh.
3rd grade. My brother was in the 2nd grade. We used to sleep in the same bed,
Uh-huh.
same room at that time because we were just kids. And my birth mom said, "Okay, Asaph," and my brother's name is Ted. She says, "I want you boys to go to sleep because Santa Claus will be coming by about midnight tonight to bring you toys over for Christmas."
And
And-
of course you can't sleep because you're so excited.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, all right." So my brother and I, okay, we're gonna stay up till midnight and see if Santa Claus shows up for real. And at midnight, he really did show up. Now we know obviously it was probably an actor or something, but at
Maybe
the
it
time,
wasn't.
well, at the time, when you're a kid, you think that. So Santa Claus actually came to our house because see, our room was set up like this, and there was a hallway here, and you can see the Christmas tree down the hall. So Santa Claus was in our living room talking to my parents, and then he literally walked down the hall toward my brother and I's room.
Amazing.
And so my brother and I was like, we better pretend we're asleep because if he knows we're up, we're not getting no toys. So we started like lightly snoring.
Oh, that's amazing.
And this Santa Claus actually walked into our bedroom and he turned the light on and he goes, "Ho, ho, ho!
Oh.
Merry Christmas! Are you children asleep?" And we were just like,
Yep.
and then he left the room.
That is
Did you
amazing.
That's a happy memory. That actually happened. Santa Claus came to our room. He came into me and my brother's room.
That's amazing.
Wonderful. Do you have
Yeah, we had an Academy Award that night because we were
Mm.
faking all the time sleeping. And then, of course, when we woke up that morning, there was a bunch of toys all over the room, stuff like that.
What's yours?
I think was the first time I saw Star Wars. That was my first PG movie. I was kind of nervous because, it might scare children, might be too much, but when my mother took me to see Star Wars, I was just aghast. This is a great film.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So mine is of being in Southern California, LA, and it was summertime, and we would go and play at a school, and they'd bring music in, and at the time it was the 60s, and we danced to Motown. We'd get the record out, and on a blanket with my baby, it's where I'll be, out on the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun, sun.
Something like that. But,
I
yeah.
love that.
Was it Drifters was the name of that group.
Yes.
Under the Boardwalk. And on that note, we're just about out of time, guys.
Really?
Yeah, time flies when you're doing these shows.
It does.
Yes.
It just really flies. You got any final words you want to say?
Oh.
I wanted to say I think your hair looks really lovely.
You've said
Yeah,
that. And
I
thank you.
know.
I love your hair.
Well, I don't know about mine. Mine's not blue, so Emmett, any final words?
Yes, a new surreal joke. Fascinating. There was this one calculus book and one advanced algebra book, and they were splashed on two different coffee cups, and and they were sticking their tongues out each other. Then this one washing machine came along and said, "Oh, I can't see around that." Wasn't that funny?
Hilarious.
Yes.
Okay, Bloss. You remember Mr. Magoo?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a guy named Charlie, and he couldn't say the word boss, so he'd say Bloss. Well, anyway, it was a fun cartoon. I used to watch when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Magoo.
Mr.
Yeah.
Magoo. Yeah, we lost the cartoonist the guy that worked on Mr. Magoo and some of those other cartoons that had passed. He was like 101.
Wow.
He passed away, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Oh.
It was on the world news. So they're showing this clip of Mr. Magoo, and just what a fun life.
Yes.
To work on cartoons.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Must have been a real fun life to be able to do that, to draw those cartoons and be
Yeah.
involved in the production of those cartoons.
Yeah.
And Mr. Magoo was always funny to me. I mean, he couldn't see very well, right? But he always ends up saving the day and stuff.
Yep.
And it was always an accident. He didn't do it intentionally because he couldn't see. But he always saved the day, so it was just kind of a fun cartoon. They had a lot of fun cartoons in the past that
Yeah,
don't
they
have
did.
anymore.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Any final thing you want to say before we sign off?
Peace, love, and happiness.
Well, that's a good thing.
Come to Missoula where we have it all.
Well, anyway, this show was we're just goofing off today.
Exactly.
And, it's fun to do that on the cafe.
Oh,
too,
it
to
is.
just goof off.
Absolutely.
Talk about children and whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being part of Asaph Cafe. On my immediate left, Teresa Toigo again. Lovely Teresa. Lovely hair. Affectionately, our aging rocker Emmett. I am Asaph Adonai. Until our next show, Maranatha. Here we go. Sign out here. Beautiful chorus
Yep.
there to freeze on. Well, you guys make yourself at home, and I'll get everything set up.
All right.